All right, so Tribulation Trump has been saying of late, since they nuked Qasem Soleimani, that he was planning on blowing up one of the embassies. In fact, he planned on blowing up 4 embassies. So I guess they got an embassy in Baghdad. They don't have one in Tehran. America doesn't have any political relationship with Iran. If anything happens, they communicate between the Swiss. The Swiss people have an embassy in Tehran, and so that's how they get their information. So what was the other embassy? One in Baghdad, right? What was the other embassy at? We don't know. But Trump said that this boy, Soleimani, was planning on bombing 4 of them. That's pretty ambitious. It's a lie, too, by the way. It's a flat-out lie. Trump lying. Anyway, so when the news people heard this, they knew that they had Trump in a lie that he could not get out of, because he said this after the Senate intelligence and after the Gang of 8 had been informed about, post the killing of Soleimani. And then the senators had come in and heard, Mike Lee and Rand Paul and Lindsey Graham and a bunch of others. And there was no mention of imminent danger to any embassy, right, in the briefing that was given to the senators. So when Trump comes out and said that Soleimani was, first he said Soleimani was planning on bombing an American embassy. That sounds interesting. Well, you can't let him do that. And that sounds so good to me. In the same news conference, I wish I had the clip. I didn't tell people to get the clip. In the same news conference, that sounds good. Trump said, bombing the embassy. Boy, that sounds good. He said, yeah, we think he was thinking about bombing as many as 4 embassies.
They have large-scale attacks planned for other embassies, and if those were planned, why can't we reveal that to the American people? Wouldn't that help your case?
I can reveal that I believe it would have been 4 embassies. And I think that probably Baghdad already started. They were really amazed that we came in with that kind of a force. We came in with very powerful force and drove them out. You know, that ended almost immediately. But Baghdad certainly would have been the lead. But I think it would have been 4 embassies, could have been military bases, could have been a lot of other things too. But it was imminent. And then all of a sudden, he was gone.
Now think about this logically for just a second. You got Middle East, right? He's thinking about bombing the embassy. Okay, there's no embassy in Tehran. That's in Iran, right? There's no embassy in Syria, which is, there's an embassy in Turkey. He won't, Soleimani won't think about going to Turkey to bomb nothing. I can tell you that right now. The other embassy was in Jerusalem. They wouldn't let that boy nowhere. Nobody know. So where was the embassy he going to bomb? Oh, embassy in Washington, D.C.? Canada, maybe? I mean, Trump just made it up as he was going along. He said, because it sounded like it made Trump sound very important, right? He was going to bomb on our embassy, so we had to take him out. But when people said the embassy, everybody jumped up when they heard that. Because nobody had heard that in the briefings that had been given 2 days earlier. None of the senators were told about it. They were told of imminent danger. They weren't told what it was, but nobody told about an embassy. And so Trump now says that it's an embassy. When that sounds so good, he said, 4 embassies. Where he got the number 4 from, it's like pulling rabbits out of a hat with that boy. So the other day, yesterday, Mike Esper, right, who is the so-called Secretary of Defense, was on the talk shows. Mr. Engineer, roll that clip. I think it's clip number 2. This is really incredible. Watching this guy squirming like a worm for that lying Trump. That boy can lie.
He had a proven track record of executing attacks and killing Americans. It was going to be in multiple sites. It was described as being much bigger. What the president said was he believed that it probably and could have been attacks against additional embassies.
Probably and could have been. That sounds more like an assessment than a specific, tangible threat with a decisive piece of intelligence.
Well, the president didn't say there was a tangible, he didn't cite a specific piece of evidence. What he said is he believed.
Are you saying there wasn't one?
I didn't see one with regard to 4 embassies.
Uh-oh, that boy gonna get fired. Trump gonna fire that boy. Trump gonna fire him, because he just told her Face the Nation woman that he didn't, Trump said there was 4, and that boy said, I ain't seen nothing about no embassy. Trump gonna fire him. Either that or gonna make life miserable for him. This is a bit of a news blog we do, looking at spiritual wickedness in high places for the most part, making some observations about it and giving people a biblical foundation to the way of interpreting, rather than have Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham or Janine Pirro or Anderson Cooper or Rachel Maddow or Don Lemon, Rush Limbaugh interpret what's going on in the world. You come to me and I'll tell you based on what the Word of God says. They'll just give you their worldly, sinful view. But the Manning Report will tell you what God has said, whether to say yea or nay, whether to go or to stay. You'll be led by the word of Almighty God. Come to the Manning Report on a daily basis to interpret the spiritual wickedness in high places, because there's plenty of it that's going on. And so I'm the Lord's servant, James David Righteous Rebel Manning, and I'm here to serve you with news and information.